Well, some of the specifics that weren't reached by the Philippines was, for example, lowering maternal mortality, also lowering neonatal deaths, meaning the first 1 month, deaths in the first 1 month. Also, there were issues around education, for example. There were also issues around water and sanitation, which was also an MDG. So in some of the areas, like maternal mortality, Philippines was moving forward, but at a certain point, and I think it was around 2012 or so, actually stalled and plateaued. So for the first years of the MDGs, we were doing well, and then suddenly something happened and it plateaued. It was the same with neonatal deaths, for example. So it's necessary that we learn from that and really look at how can we now actually meet the SDGs, which is more important. The SDGs also actually are much more encompassing. So, for example, the MDGs did not include anything about violence or protection of children, children in armed conflict, and so on. The SDGs does address areas like that as well, and has more indicators and are more specific in that sense.
We support the report and we welcome that the gaps and some issues are being identified with the report. It is true that there are lots of initiatives being undertaken by the government, but we also recognize that some of the efforts are still fragmented, specifically on the grassroots. So with this report, we were able to identify the basic priorities and the gaps that we need to address in order for us to formulate policies specifically on how to focus our technical assistance to the local government units in order for us to have a real convergence and then to intensify all the initiatives of the local government as well as the other government agencies participating in the protection of children. On our end, the DSWD is very much committed in delivering the protection of children on the policy level as well as those programs that are not yet devolved to the LGU.
But looking at everything across in terms of what are the gaps and the vulnerabilities of children across different sectors, then it heightens the alarm in terms of the situation of children. So I think that is that will be a big value added for this report, and it will make the Philippine Development Plan, when we update it by next year, it's going to make the plan sharper, and it's going to give us a lens for children in addressing and in coming up with different initiatives for the whole of government and by different agencies.